Yo, it's Friday night, 9 p.m. sharp. You know what time it is.
Narcocop and Timothy hitting you with that Lambo energy.
He's Mike by name, but the streets call Narcocop. Used to bust dealers, now he's busting long shots. Retired badge, now he's bad with the bets. Octagon fiend, cashing slips, no regrets. Friday night fight, Seki poured on ice. Lambo plays podcast, breaking down the price. Got parlays, KO, subs in round 3. Split decision magic, cash it like a G. Lambo plays, it's a wild parade. Long shots flying, getting that paid. Tim with impressions, Narco's got the locks. Whisper bet of the week, gonna shock your socks. Lambo plays, the odds go cray. Spin that wheel, it's a betting ballet. KO's a B, round 2 or 3. Hit that split, cashing big, LFG. Tim Troiano, lotion in hand. Tennis coach by day, fight fan of the land. Watching WMMA, yeah, you know the drill. Playing with himself, just joking, but still. Impressions fly, Katona in the house. Roses Jr. squeaking, Tim's loud like a mouse. Cornholio vibes, he's stealing the show. Narcos like bruh, but they still go toe to toe. Round 2 chaos, round 3 gold. Split decisions, bets unfold. Side case sipping, parlays lit. Lambo energy, never quit. Lambo plays, it's a wild parade. Long shots flying, getting that paid. Tim with impressions, Narco's got the locks. Whisper bet of the week, gonna shock your socks. Lambo plays, the odds go cray. Spin that wheel, it's a betting ballet. KOSOB, round 2 or 3. Hit that split, cashing big, LFG.
Narcocop, Timothy, Friday nights, Lambo plays podcast. Where long shots live large, and splits hit harder. We out. We out. We out.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Lambo Plays Podcast. I'm your host, Mike, along with my co-host, well, sorry, not my co-host, but my special guest, Liam Picks Fights, a good friend of mine, a very sharp MMA bettor. Tim has fucking, I guess, jet lag or the norovirus or something going on because he was in Las Vegas, so he has a little bit of a hangover. He took the week off, and I brought in Liam. He was very nice to do this over here with me. So, Liam, it is UFC Vegas 105. Lots of fights here, man. Not bad that we still have 12 fights, even though one fight fell through. They found a replacement for the other guy. How do you feel about this card in general?
It's all right. You know, when you look at it, is it the greatest card you've ever seen on paper? Maybe not, but do I expect action fights? Do I expect a lot of people to get after it? Do I think we could see a lot of finishes this week? I think all those things are true. So for me, I'm always down to watch the fights. I'm always down to see how they play out. But in terms of, do I see a lot of high-level action? Maybe that main and co-main event could give you some relevant featherweights, in the years to come. But other than that, it's a lot of fighters that still have a lot to prove. Some guys that just got an opportunity 2 days ago, bring them on the phone. Hey, man, you available? So we've got a lot to dig into, my man. Hopefully we can find some good spots.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think there's a lot of interesting spots here, to say the least, as far as I normally come in and say, I don't really like many Lambos. I actually like a lot of long shots on this card, man. I think there is some value here. So let's see how that plays out. But let me first go over to my chat and welcome my chat here. Elijah Wan, let's effing go. Mushroom, what's up, my man? Thank you for joining. Azure, thank you. Tim is not here, but we will thank Liam here today and always thank Tim. Double Flush, I'm feeling some big round 3 props this week. Let's see. Gamblestein, what's up, my man? Thank you. Dixon, how are you doing? Landon Warner, best way to end a Friday night. Let's effing go. Jewish Better, thoughts on John Cena turning heel, Narco? Oh, boy. Joel, what's up, my man? Thank you for joining that Assyrian God Mine. Yes, my friend. We are both Assyrian. Appreciate you very much. SSP Diving, great night of Invicta, he says. MMA Tard, what is up? Felipe, shout out to you, my man. I appreciate you very much. Oreo, what's up? Thank you for joining. Gerardo, also in the house. Fresh, what's up, my man? Thank you for joining. Brent Jackson says the countdown is way better. So he's kind of burning me on that Lambo Energy song. What's up, Stan? Thank you for joining. BMC in the house. Black Them also in the house. Appreciate you as well, my man. Eric Albright. Oh, my God. We got a lot of people in here early. Flat Earth Grappler. What's up, my man? Thank you for joining as well. Rem Dog in the house. PSSA, what's up? And Timmy DePetris says, let's cash some tickets. Yes, sir. 153 already in here. Appreciate you all. I keep saying Tim. What the hell's wrong with me? Liam, sorry. First fight of the night. And it is a grappler's delight. Man, that rhymes. It is the 11-6 Vanessa Demopoulos versus the 5-1-1 Toledo Alan Carr. And since we have a grappler in the house, let's give him the first fight of the night.
Narco, not only do you have a grappler in the house, you have the Vanessa Demopoulos whisperer in the house, if you don't mind. But I will also just say this, man. I think that this is the time where, a lot of people start to build enthusiasm on a fighter when they see something happen over and over. And for me, I've seen Vanessa Demopoulos cash me out on some controversial, closely contested decisions, let's say. And, you don't want to keep playing too close to the fire, right? We're now talking about a -105, -110 type price tag either way. And I kind of get that. When you look at the Alan Carr side, she's old, she's inexperienced, her cardio sucks. She's got good grappling. She's got decent wrestling. So does she have some tools that are successful against Vanessa? Yeah. Kanako Murata, though, you could say the same thing, right? Has the wrestling, has the ability to take her down, get some top control, lost the fight anyway, right? One of the 2 times in 8 UFC fights where Vanessa landed more total strikes was against Murata, off her back, throwing them elbows. So when I look at this fight, man, I think we're probably in for a close split decision, shitty fight. And the reason I say that is because Vanessa has enthusiasm. She has aggression. She normally does not give up on herself easily. Amrim had to, dig a little bit in that glove, get a little extra, make sure she had that submission locked up, and hats off to her, right? It's a mixed martial arts fight. I'm not going to cry over people cheating, right? Frankly, it's a dirty, vicious sport, and that's the way it's played, unfortunately. So Alan Carr doesn't seem like Amorim, right? Amorim is violent, vicious, looking for the finish in every fight. 9 finishes and 9 wins. Alan Carr is very comfortable holding you down. Take a deep breath. Maybe look for a little ground and pound. I don't think she's as dangerous. So if you leave Vanessa hanging around, her enthusiasm's normally going to win. Her cardio is normally going to win. Her volume is going to compete. So as far as I view this fight, plus 600, Vanessa split decision. That's the Lambo play for me. But it's not a very big Lambo play. I don't feel great about it. I was getting her plus 300 against Kanako Murata. So that's the way that I feel about this one, man. I think we're looking at a close decision here.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to think of this girl, Alan Carr. She's, like you said, she's 34. She doesn't have a lot of experience in MMA whatsoever. 2 of the fights are, we know against the same chick now. The first one was a draw in Contender Series, and then she came back and she lost the fight to her last time out. Now, the thing is, I do have like a little bit of information on this chick, and apparently she's had some issues going on in her life. Alan Carr, they're not great apparently, and now she's facing a girl in Demopoulos who's also obviously up there in age, right? But like, she always comes in shape. I do think like Demopoulos, like, this is her life. Like she's all over the training and no matter that she's been jumping a lot of camps, the last couple of years, but the girl is dedicated to training. She's always in shape. She always looks good. And one thing we can say about these 2 girls that's polar opposites, Liam, is the cardio, man. Like, there's a big cardio edge for Demopoulos, right? Alan Carr falls off the cliff later in fight. She gets very tired. Her shots become very, very ugly. And Demopoulos, this is the thing with Demopoulos. She's not technical at all on the feet, but she throws everything. All of her 125 pounds, whatever she is on fight day, she throws them into every punch, right? And, we saw her hurt Ducati. We see her buzzing some of these girls when she's landing these huge overhands and ugly shots, but they're landing. And I kind of feel like, man, she might be able to, there's a chance that she can finish this chick later. I honestly feel that, because I think there's a huge cardio edge here. And when you tell me that, when I think about all these things going on in Alan Carr's life and that she's not all there, you know, I'm going to maybe take a poke here at round 2 or 3, man. It's 2,000 and 2,800. It's a big price. I don't think it comes through. It's 115-pound WMMA, right? Like, I'm not expecting it to hit. But whenever there's like a big cardio edge for me, I tend to lean on these props because it happens. It happens quite often when there's big cardio edges, you know? So for me, I'm going to just take a shot here at 2-3 on Vanessa. I mean, it could be KO, it could be sub. You know, when you have someone that's tired, right? Anything can happen. So yeah, round 2, round 3 for me here on Demopoulos. Like I said, I don't have like some big take on this. But I think
Narco, you want to know what my article prediction was for this fight?
Yeah.
Vanessa Demopoulos defeats Talita Alan Carr via TKO 3 or split decision.
There you go. So you're kind of in agreement with me here. So I like that. I like that. And the split, I obviously the split is accurate. You know, it's good. The price is just what turned me off, right? It's very, very low for a split decision. And yeah, man, I just the cardio edge. That's basically what I have. And one girl actually throws with more venom than the other. That's just how I feel.
Dropped Maria Oliveira, which I think people forget about as well. So she definitely carries a little bit of power. She's a firecracker from Cleveland, baby. Y'all don't want to get on the other side of that.
As bad as their striking is, I did not expect that Ducati fight to be as close as it was. And I think Ducati kind of squeaked it out, to be honest, on rewatch. But they love Demopoulos for whatever reason over there in Vegas. And I don't know what it is. But yeah, I mean, she hurt her, man. And Ducati's a really good striker, you know, for WMMA. So
we'll take the plus 320. We'll take the plus 320. Good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah, that was definitely a good plus 320 there for damn sure. All right, let's move on. Fight number 2. We really don't have any props here. It's the 14-2 Martin Budet versus the 9-0 Uran Satalbaldayev. I will kick this one off. I mean, like I said, there's no props currently. And if I'm to play a prop, honestly, I probably take this, even though this guy's on short notice, I do think he can finish Budet because Budet's cardio is awful. This guy actually, he's in a war in every single fight, Liam. This guy's getting dropped. He's fucking getting taken down. He's on bottom. He survives. He gets back up. Somehow he goes crazy. He finishes dudes, right? I think he's way faster than Budet. He's got way better footwork. I think, you know, he could possibly get takedowns here. Obviously, Budet is way bigger than this dude, right? This guy fights at light heavyweight. The thing is that there's a big speed edge with these two guys and the footwork and the agility of one guy compared to the other. Now, the problem is there's weight classes for a reason. And this one, you know, he's got 40 plus pounds on it. I'm pretty sure Budet cuts to heavyweight. Like he's 266 and 265 every single fight. He's a fat whale. Like this guy, I don't know if he takes training very serious, to be honest. I really don't. This is one guy that's a little bit opposite of Demopoulos. So, you know, the last 2 fights have looked ugly, man. Andre Arlovsky fight, absolutely disgusting fight. Just watching it, I wanted to like, I don't know what I wanted to do to myself, but I rather watch paint dry, to be honest, than watch that fight because that's how bad it was. And then the give up, like Shamil's pressure and just like shots, like he just absolutely gave up in that fight, you know? So I kind of feel like if Uran's aggressive, he can do something similar to Shamil did. But again, there's no props. If I'm to play something, if it's big, I'd probably play KO on Uran or something like that, or ITD or something. Who do I think wins? I honestly am interested in a dog shot, to be honest, at plus 145. I just think the guy has better cardio. Yeah, he's taking it on short notice. I still think he has the better cardio of the two by far. and he's faster. He's, you know, he has a little bit more pop on his punches. I mean, the way Budet throws, bro, it's so ugly. Now, maybe Budet can get on top of this guy, and then he's in big fucking trouble. Like, now you got a heavyweight on top of you, and good luck getting up, right? So, yeah, I get that part too. Maybe like a sub from Budet or ground and pound, something like that. Liam?
My man, I looked into this guy, and I remember saying on my show, I was like, you know, I haven't looked into this guy, but, you know, I'm not Martin Budet, you know, fan. I think the guy stinks. You know, had a very good run out for very bad fighting in the UFC. He's got a negative strike differential and a 5-1 record. You're like, what? How did this happen? But when you look at Martin Budet, he's big. He cage pushes aggressively, right? He's going to try and push you back into the fence. We're in the small cage here. And I think, honestly, man, Uran, like, if this guy didn't have freak durability, freak cardio, you know, a really strong will to win, he would lose every fight. Because I think the guy's terrible, man. Like, if you, Narco, like, you know as well as I do, watching this guy's skills, he's horrific. This guy is getting audited in every position by Bruno Assis. It was shocking that he didn't lose that fight. It is shocking that this guy has never been finished as a professional. He's in 7 arm triangles. He's in 2 triangle chokes. He's in, like, you just look back and you're like, okay, first of all, the guy's not just going to give up easy, right? Fair enough to that. But also, he's bad. On his back, has no clue what he's doing, stays there for many minutes at a time. Miracle he's never been finished. Miracle he's never been TKO'd. Miracle he's never been submitted. Then he gets a comeback submission against that Suarez dude. Suarez just exhausted himself. He was like beating him up so bad in the second round. Then he comes back out and he's like heaving and puffing. I'm like, he's fighting fat light heavyweights on the regional scene and making them look strong and like they're good at wrestling, and they're not. So I'm just saying to myself, like, if you go and you're not a real heavyweight, and by the way, this guy's getting bullied around at times by light heavyweights. You're not a real heavyweight at all. And Martin Budet is big as a house. So he's just going to try and wrap 2 arms around this guy and drag him to the ground. And my honest opinion, Narco, is if he does that, this guy's not getting back up. If you have a refrigerator on top of you, you ain't getting back up either. And I think when you watch how this guy moves, he doesn't have enough technical skills. Like, I think he could, to your point, gas him out. Like, he does have good cardio. That's the only asset he has, man. Round 3, round 4, he's still out there doing it. But to watch Miktebek Orobai corner this guy, Miktebek Orobai knows how to fight in every phase. He's dangerous everywhere. Beautiful skills. This guy, none of that, right? All the same durability and want to win and try hard. It's just none of the skills. So for me, I think either by Kimura is like the way you get the most high level on this one, because I've seen both of them attempt Kimuras on their opponents in their fights, and both of them finish them for whatever that's worth. The end sub might be a huge price because it's the the division, but ultimately, man, I don't feel great about this fight either. I just think both these guys kind of stink. I just think Budet is a real heavyweight. This other guy might have a future at light heavyweight, but he's not very skilled at mixed martial arts.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly looked at Budet and thought, maybe if they give us some good sub props, I'll hit it. But the unwillingness to grapple from Budet is just turning me off. The guy just doesn't shoot any fucking takedowns, man. Like
he cage pushes to the fence. I just don't think he knows how to get somebody down from there. I remember I played him by sub 12-1, and then he went out there, cage pushed somebody. I was like, he's never going to do it. And then the next fight he submitted somebody. So
dude, the crazy part is against Arlovsky. Arlovsky's old. Try to take this guy down. No, instead he does 0 fucking takedown attempts. Arlovsky's actually the one that shot for a takedown. I think it was in round 3. It's like, what the fuck's going on with this guy? But honestly, Liam, this is how I feel about Budet and why I think he doesn't. Because I think he's a brown belt or even a black belt in jiu-jitsu, right? The reason why I think that he doesn't grapple is because he knows his gas tank is fucking sucks, bro. And if he does, he will gas himself out. That's why 50% of his fights are cage pushing. Literally, he's cage pushing. And the guy is just, man. I mean, you're right. The other dude, I saw 9-0 and I'm like, who is this guy? And then I went back and watched. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's getting hurt in every fight. It's amazing.
Minor miracle. He's never been finished. No doubt.
Dude, that Gabriel Thamada guy, he's 5-6. He fucking hurt him. He got on top of him. But you know what?
Hurt every exchange on the feet. If he gets touched on the feet, he starts dancing and then starts shooting takedowns.
He is tough. I will give him that. And he has cardio. So, but I don't know. It's heavyweight, So anyways, we talked too much about this fight. We don't even have fucking props. Let's move on. Fight number 3, it is in the bantamweight division. It is the 24-7 Victor Henry versus the 16-4 Pedro Falcao. This one's yours, Liam.
All right, man, I'll be quick, straight and to the point. Falcao by submission. If you can get submitted by Charles Jourdain, you can get submitted by Pedro Falcao. That's the way that I see it. I'll just be brief and to the point on a couple of things here. Number one, I saw multiple times in the Tony Gravely fight, Victor's given up bad situations, bad positions. Tony Gravely didn't know how to take advantage. I think Falcao does. Falcao, 3rd-degree black belt under Marlon Sandro, Novo Uniao, legit black belt. Very, very high level. He's taught a lot of other guys how to grapple. His striking is not very good. I think it's okay. I think he's got some power. I don't think he's very comfortable on the feet. I think he's going to try and force wrestling and grappling, just like he did against a guy who's very dangerous in Victor Hugo, a guy who's naturally probably a 145er. That's a whole different ballgame, I feel. By the way, Victor Hugo, very well versed in the leg locks, very well versed in the jiu-jitsu. Not going to catch him easily, not going to catch him sleeping. So I thought that was a tough matchup for Falcao. I acknowledged that at the time. I picked Victor Hugo, I believe, to knock him out. Now, I bet on Victor Henry plus 4XX, his first UFC fight. The guy's got pace, energy, pressure. I've been disappointed by him every fight since because I think he's a better fighter than what he's brought to the table in the UFC. He's an older guy when he got here. He already had 1 million fights overseas in Japan. I thought against Javid Bashrat, he was getting worked like a part-time job, and I bet him there. And I said to myself, man, this guy isn't the same guy that I remember from Japan because he used to be faster and he used to throw a little more and he used to have a little more piss and vinegar. Against Charles Jourdain, he's getting in contentious exchanges and he's now a wrestler. You're a wrestler now, to quote Nate Diaz, like he's shooting takedown, putting his head in the hole, then gets choked. And people are telling me, yeah, it was a meme. But if I put my head in the hole 4 times and then I get choked on the 5th, who is it to blame, honestly? It's my fault. And by the way, it was a ninja choke. Everybody's saying a guillotine. It was a ninja choke. He tried to guillotine him like 4 times. The guy kept getting out of it. Okay, I'll switch it up. Go to my next attempt. Finished it. Falcao, in my opinion, has a lot of options on the ground. So if he gets into, those same positions that Gravely was in, that this guy was in, that Jourdain was in, I think they've got a lot of opportunity to finish. So.
Yeah, I mean, Falcao is like you said, I think he's 2 or 3 stripe. He actually teaches jiu-jitsu. He's a main instructor wherever he trains at. He's the instructor there for jiu-jitsu. So the guy is legit, obviously. He's very good on the ground, like you said. Novo Uniao, very popular gym over there in Brazil. Very good. I mean, some really good fighters have come out of that gym. So now, this guy, first fight, I kind of don't want to take much away from that just because it was short notice, super, super short notice. He was given an opportunity to get into UFC, right? Took the fight. I actually was impressed with his toughness and cardio because, like you mentioned, Hugh was a big guy for 35 and he hits hard, dude. Like that guy hits hard. And I was impressed with Falcao taking some of these shots from Hugo and he kept pushing the wrestling. And, those are the things that I like what I saw. But, Henry, he did get subbed last fight. But I think the guy he's actually a really good scrambler. He's actually, he knows what he's doing on the ground. I know he got caught. And I think it was just kind of like stupidity. He never thought to himself that a guy like Jourdain was going to sub him. Honestly, he probably felt comfortable. He's like, yeah, this guy can't sub me. And then you're right. It was a ninja choke because you see how he got the arm all the way across and started. Yeah, he started pressing on it there.
That's why the guard pass didn't save him. Everybody thinks if you just pass guard, you're safe. No, sir.
Yeah, that one was just really, really tight. He couldn't go anywhere. But, what I will say, a line here that I love, Liam, I actually love this line. When you look historically at Victor Henry, what do you take away from him? I take away that this guy fights close. Whether he wins, whether he loses, when fights hit the scorecards, this guy fights close. Ronnie Yaya, for Christ's sake, I think won round 1 against this guy, right? Out of all people. Ronnie Yaya, he's over the hill, guys. Like he's just kind of done, right? And he gassed out Ronnie Yaya in that fight. And he got us that round 3, which was a nice number. But when you look at Falcao, he can go 3 rounds. We know this. We know he can go 3 rounds. We know he can push a grappling pace, right? And I do think Victor Henry is very hard to finish. He did get finished, but when you look historically, the guy is not easy to finish. Now, Falcao, by decision, is 460, right? That's already a pretty good price, in my opinion. But when you look a little deeper, split decision is 17-1, Liam. 17-1 on split on Falcao. Like, why not take a shot there? That's, I think, an incredible price.
Just look at the Bradley fight. He outlanded him by double the significant strikes. It went to split.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to play this line. It's 17-1 by split on Falcao. I can tell you, if this fight hit the scorecards, it's going to be close. I'm almost positive it's going to be close. I don't think it's going to be one-sided the one way or the other. I think it's going to be close. So you're getting 17-1, right? Even the 460, I'm fine with it. Like, I truly think that this is going to go to decision here. I played the over in a parlay, like I put in a parlay. I think the over is pretty safe here. Yes, this guy does have finishes on his record, but when you look a little bit deeper, the guys that he's finishing are not great. Some of them are cardio. They're just death gassing. That's just not going to happen with Victor Henry. I don't think he's death gassing unless he's sick or something, So, and on the other hand, like, Victor Henry really can't bust a grape, to be honest. Like,
dude, how he didn't knock out Johnny Barcelos is honestly beyond me, because he hit him with 15-piece combinations uninterrupted.
My friend, he doesn't bust a grape. I mean, he doesn't bust many people anymore. The guy just doesn't swing hard. He doesn't have a lot of power. It's mostly breaking people via cardio, honestly, and volume. And that's how he breaks people. But, as far as power, I don't think it's there. And I truly think this fight probably hits the scorecards 80% of the time, if I had to guess. I think the line should be minus 400. Fight goes. I honestly do. And it's at like minus 220, 230. I think the line.
Honestly, I only see the real finishing equity being like a sub-1 for Falcao, just by like barnstorming him, get to your positions, take the back finish, or a round 3 for Victor Henry. So I see where you're coming from there. I don't see a lot of finishes.
We can't give it more in those two scenarios. 20%, right? Is Falcao like 10, 15% round 1 sub, right? And then 5 to 10 maybe max on the other side at round 3. I really don't see the finish here. I don't see it, but I could be wrong. I didn't see the finish in the Jourdain fight, and it happened, right? So it could happen. It's MMA, but
me either. I will say that.
Yeah, I just like the over. The fight goes here. I think it's probably, I lean the Henry side. Don't get me wrong. I think he probably pulls off a decision, but the prices, guys, it means a lot to me. And 17-1, it's just insane. All right. Let's move on. Fight number 4. It is in the strawweight division. It is the 9-3 Loma Lokbunmi versus the 6-5 Estela Nunez. I will kick this one off. So, transparency, right? I have a bet on Estela Nunez, a small bet on Estela Nunez, right? And I will give you the reasoning of why I have Estela Nunez. Estela Nunez has won every single one of her round 1s outside of the one where she got injured last time out, right? She got injured. She broke her arm, whatever. Other than that, she's won round 1 against everybody. She's a very fast starter. She's a good striker. She hits with decent power, right? She's a Muay Thai fighter as well. So we got a kind of a Muay Thai fight here, guys. Like, Loma's a Muay Thai fighter. Obviously, a higher level Muay Thai fighter, right? And then we got Estela Nunez, who's also a Muay Thai fighter. So Nunez wins a lot of round 1s, man. And so what I said to myself is, like, I do think she can land a little bit on Loma here. She's a little bit longer, right? Let me take Estela Nunez at this big number, and then I can hop on Loma live and easily get a nice free roll on this fight, right? Sometimes betting pre-flop doesn't always mean who you think is going to win, right? Like, who do I think wins? Loma, right? But I thought the price was a little high based on what I've seen from Nunez in round 1. She's a round 1 winner. She wins that round 1 quite often. So here's a spot where I'm looking to probably live bet on Loma. But round 2 and round 3, you kind of have to play Loma. And listen, it's WMMA. But Estela Nunez falls off a cliff, man. She just does. It's like this in every single fight. There's not one fight you could look at that she hasn't fell off the cliff, right? So I have to play Loma here. These lines were way off on DraftKings. I gave it out in my Discord. I didn't track it because it was a wrong line. But they had Loma at like 17-1 in round 2 and 22-1 in round 3, right? Those lines are gone. They're long gone. I still think like almost 10-1 on round 2 and 13-1 on round 3 are not bad, because Estela Nunez in 4 of her 5 losses, she's been finished, right? So the girl clearly gasses out in these later rounds. And I do think Loma's kicks, maybe kicks to the body, some of those things can actually wear her down even more. So I'm going with those 2-3 on Loma here. But yeah, I did it a little long-winded just because transparency-wise, I have Estela Nunez pre-flop, but I'm looking to get out live here. Liam?
I think that you summed up all my thoughts on this fight in total, basically. I will say this. I think Estela Nunez basically has 8 minutes of fighting in her. I think that beyond that, we've seen many times her fall apart. I don't think that she's particularly skilled on the ground. I think she has decent first-layer takedown defense. I think once you get past that, she kind of falls apart a little bit. We've kind of seen if you start to pass her guard, it's not you pass to half guard, you pass right to the mount, you do whatever you want, right? But she does have a guard. She does have a willingness to try and get back up when she's fresh. So I think that your point on the live betting makes a lot of sense. I do think Loma has a chance to take her out in rounds 2 and 3 as well. I think that this is essentially an IQ test for Loma. If she comes out here shooting takedowns, she's going to make this fight look easy in my view, because you need to get Estela Nunez tired. If she engages in a striking-based fight, it's probably going to play out a lot closer. I still think she wins it. I think she's the better fighter. I think she's better conditioned. Frankly, you have one girl who's capitulated twice, who should have been finished in the Sam Hughes fight. It's a minor miracle that she wasn't. And then who broke her arm 30 seconds into another fight. She's 0-4 in the promotion. The other girl is 6-2, right? She keeps winning fights. The 2 losses are against veteran contenders in the division. It's like, so what's her bad loss? Why does Loma suck? She doesn't. She's overpriced, fair enough, but is she really worse than Nunez? Now this is where lines start tempting people, and I'm just I think Estela Nunez is bad. So I don't want to bet on her, but I think that Narco's on the right wavelength, which is get in on a great price now. She probably starts very hot, get out at a great price, and then live with the results.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's just how I feel about the fight. Is she a great fighter? No, absolutely not. Does she have bad cardio? Absolutely. But for 1 round and 1 round only, she actually looks pretty good early, So unless, listen, maybe Loma puts on her wrestling shoes and is like, okay, let me just go blast double and fucking. But I really don't expect that from Loma early. I think she likes to get in her groove in the Muay Thai and kick those legs and stuff like that.
You know what I'm talking about, Narco? She stick the tongue up after she kicks it in the body, dude.
Yeah. And her kick, I mean, look at her legs, dude. For 115, I think 90% of the weight is in her legs. She's got some huge, huge legs for straw weight. Anyways, let's move on here. Fight number 5. It is in the welterweight division. It is the 13-6-1 Rhys McKe versus the 9-2 Daniel Franza. This one's yours, Liam.
I hate the price, but I have to say McKe by sub. It's plus 6xx. The number is not great, but ultimately, I think Franza is not very good at all on the mat. Last time out, we saw Rhys McKe very intentional about going to the ground. I want to just say something real quick, Narco. There will be blood. Go fuck yourself, my man. Either you can not listen or you can listen and shut the fuck up, but I am here giving my time. So what I don't need from you is you to be an asshole. What I do need is you to shut the fuck up. Now, what we're going to do is get back to the action here.
Wait, who was this? Who was this?
There will be blood is basically telling me I don't know anything and I'm an idiot, and the less of my voice, the better. And all I'm saying is I don't need the fucking negativity, my brother. Just go fuck yourself. So there you have it. You can go look at my third-party results and take them or leave them, right? That's it. I don't care if you like my opinions or not. Just keep it to yourself. Rhys McKe, as far as I'm concerned, man, it's just way better than this guy on the ground. Is he a little bit of a liability on the feet? Sure. I think Franza's a little bit of a liability on the feet as well. So as far as I see it, man, it's Franza, fun, brings the action, gets crazy in there, but has he proven he can beat a UFC level fighter? No. And on the other side, Rhys McKe, he's had a tough run out in the UFC, but he's competing with UFC level fighters. He nearly finished Angelusa in the 3rd round, who's never been finished in the UFC. So you then start to say to yourself, man, Rhys McKe has been right there. He's been on the precipice. I listened to his interview. He says, I'm all in. I've done everything right this camp. I have no pressure on me. I'm expected to lose. I'm going to go out there and give everything. That's what I wanted in an underdog. So for me, Daniel Franza gets hurt, gets finished. falls off a cliff in a lot of his fights. So when he gets hurt, his grappling turns to zero. And I think that if Rhys McKe can land one good shot, he submits him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the Rhys McKe side here. I got him at plus 142. I just think huge, whether you want to say it or not. And it's not a lot of fights, but there's a huge experience gap here, right? One guy's been fighting Cage Warriors. One guy's been in the UFC, 2 different stints. He's still young, guys. Like one thing about Rhys McKe is he's still only like 27 or 28. The guy's young. I actually think he's younger than Franza is at this point. I'm not even 100% sure. Yeah, he's actually younger than Franza. So there's a big experience gap here, guys. And when you go and look, and what impressed me, honestly, did Rhys McKe lose his last fight, Njokuani? Sure. But let me ask the audience and you as well. How has Njokuani looked at 170? Absolute killer.
Sharp.
Right? I mean, he's looked extremely good at 170, right? His cardio's held up. He's looked extremely good. And that was probably Njokuani's closest fight at 170. You know what? Against Rhys McKe, right? He just went out there and absolutely destroyed Zaleski dos Santos, right? And everybody was on Zaleski dos Santos there. No one kind of gave him a chance. And what I'm trying to say is Njokuani is an elite striker. And that fight was actually all striking. Like, he tried to go for takedowns. He shot 1,000,000 times. It just didn't work. But you know what, Liam? Njokuani, if you can't get him down and you're in a clinch, you are absolutely going to get cooked, man. And he hit McKe with some nasty knees, dude, like really nasty knees over and over and over again. And what I could say about McKe is he is fucking tough, man. He's very tough. He will keep coming. He's got great cardio. And when I look at Franza, man, like he's pulling some of these fights out of his ass, dude. Like this fight against Kutse, he's hurt. He's almost finished, right? He comes back, round 2. Kutse is already waving the white flag at the beginning of round 2. He's dead tired. He's fucking completely exhausted, right? He hurts him and finishes him. Props to him. Talundzic's fight, right? It's a very close fight. Talundzic's winning round 3, actually. And then he hurts him at the end and finishes him. So it's like a lot. And Lindsey Jones fight. I want to go back to the Lindsey Jones fight. Did you watch that, Liam? Did you happen to tape that fight?
I might have watched it when I taped for Contender, but I didn't.
Liam, Lindsey Jones had 4 different rear naked chokes in, super deep, all the way under the chin. I'm like, this guy, how is this guy not tapping? And it either Lindsey Jones sucks and he doesn't know how to fucking squeeze, or he has the worst squeeze in the world. But when you watch that fight, I have no idea how he didn't finish him, dude, in round 1. Like, I really don't. And the takedowns were coming easy, right? So to your point, Rhys McKe's submission is definitely live. I do think if he can get to his back, Rhys McKe is long. He can probably find a choke, right? But what I actually like here is I like the decision again, Liam. McKe is 5-1 on the decision line, okay? He has better volume. He has better cardio, right? And he's got the grappling. So, like, why is this dude in a fight that's almost pick 'em now, 5-1 on the decision prop? It makes no sense to me at all. Like, does Franza have more power on the feet? Sure, right? But one guy is more proven to go 5 rounds even and push a pace, while the other guy is really not. So for me, again, 5-1 on a decision. It's on Rivers. It's way off the market, by the way, on Rivers. And then we're going to go back to the split, man. It's 14-1 on Rhys McKe. These lines are just legitimately off, dude. They're legitimately off. 14-1 on fucking McKe by split. I'm all for it again. Like, that's why I said in the beginning of the show, there's some lines here that are very big that I really like, and that they don't make sense to me. So one thing I will say before I move on to the next fight, if you watch the Kutse fight, Franza got knocked down with an uppercut in round 1. Go back and watch Rhys McKe, and he loves his uppercuts. He throws them every fight. He throws multiple uppercuts in every fight, and his timing on them is very good. He actually landed a flush one and Jaquani last fight. I do think you need to watch out for that because I think he can land. Franza has this guard that's good, but it's open. It's open up the middle, so you can actually land the uppercut there, and I think he can land it here in this fight. So, hopefully he doesn't finish him. If he finishes him, hey, I got the money line. But it would be nice if you won a decision here at these crazy, crazy prices again. All right, let's move on. Fight number 6. It is in the flyweight division. It is the 7-3 Diane Barbosa versus the 15-9 Diana Belvita. I don't know what Belvita's doing, dude. Listening to an interview, she wants to retire. She opened the gym. She's doing fucking 10 different things. This girl's not into fighting anymore. She's moving up a weight class again, back to 25. She's too weak. She has no hips. She's going up against a judo and jiu-jitsu black belt. Like, Diane Barbosa is all about fighting now. You could see it, her physique, everything. Belvita's probably into her gym or whatever the hell she's doing. I don't even know why she's in the UFC anymore, to be honest. Like, she's not a good fighter. She's a zombie moving forward, head down, kind of like this, and just chucking little arm punches, no power in them whatsoever. Man, Barbosa KO is 950, Liam. She stung Karakate in that fight a couple of times. But, like, even if it's not on the feet, it could be, can it not be ground and pound? Like, did you watch Molly McCann just hammering elbows down on fucking Belvita in round 1 in mount? Why can't Barbosa do this to her? Up a weight class, you know what I'm saying? Like, the strength advantage is going to be very big here. Like, I'm almost certain. And you got a judo black belt, jiu-jitsu black belt. Yeah, most likely. Is it going to be sub? Probably. But it's minus money. It's minus 120. And you're giving me almost 10-1 on the KO when it could be positionally a positional KO. So plus 950 Bet Rivers, KO for Barbosa here. Yeah, I don't have much else. I think Barbosa is going to easily win.
We agree about that. Last time out, I had 20-1 on the sub 1 for Molly McCann. I had Molly McCann by sub plus 850. That's her first career submission. She's now worked Diana Belvita like a part-time job twice. If you look back at the first fight, there was a lot of clues that she could submit her. I think that we just saw Molly McCann. Would she on a new level in the grappling? No, she was against an opponent that was on a level below her. And I think the same is going to be true in this one. To your point, that opens up positional TKOs. I like the fight not to go in terms of my instincts, how I would look to play a fight like this. I do think when there's TKOs in WMMA, oftentimes it takes some accumulation, right? Think Jacqueline Amorim landing like 140 unanswered against Conejo. They want to make sure you proved your point in WMMA because it's not as violent typically where you're bleeding all over if you eat 5 of them in a row. But I don't think it's a guarantee it's going to finish, but I think it's more likely than not. I think a lot of signs point to yes. I think the TKO is the way you play into plus money, and then you look for the fight not to go as the base play. But in terms of Lambos, man, let's go with it. Let's go with Barbosa by KO. The last thing I'll leave here, I listened to the interviews as well, and she said that she wanted to show off all her skills. She wanted to show off all her abilities, and that sounds like code word for maybe I won't just grapple 100%. I'll strike a little bit as well. So just for whatever people are interested in there, I think if you're looking for big plus money, you go with the KO.
Yeah, and I honestly think she can hurt her on the feet. Like, she throws pretty hard. It's 25. And one more last thing is, like, when you're on the edge of retirement, right? Like, it sounds like from interview, Belvita's literally on the edge. She loses here, she's probably going to retire. You get hit hard, whatever. You might just be like, fuck this. Like, fuck this. Just land on me and let the fight end, or submit me, let the fight end, whatever. Like, just because I do think she's kind of done, like, and the UFC is probably like, let's give Barbosa a nice, easy fight here, and that's what it looks like. She's minus 1,100, 1,200. Like, it's insane for WMMA, right? But
they just had her do the JOB to Miranda Maverick, right? Which is a really hard fight. A girl who's a proven winner.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Now they're like, here, take an easy fight. Take one where you could do whatever the fuck you want in the fight, and we'll even give you it at 25, where this girl has to move up a weight class, too. And Belvita's talking about, oh, I'm older now, I can't really cut the weight. What weight? Like, you're skinny, you got like no muscle. Like, you should make 115 like with your eyes closed, dude. Like, it doesn't look like this girl ever gets fat. If you look at her Instagram, she's always the same weight. It's just, She doesn't look like she cuts a lot of weight. I'll tell you that. But all right, let's move on. Fight number 7. It is in the middleweight division. It is the 10-4 Robert Valentine versus 10-0 Therese Finny. And I'm interested in this, your take on this fight here. I could see it going a lot of ways. Go ahead, my man.
Man, I'll keep this one simple and brief as well. You know, the way I'm looking at this one is Torres Finny KO rounds 1 and 2. It's like 5-10, and let's look at what you can get on the round 2 prop, like 750. So like 5-10, 750. Again, you guys can pare that down to the round or whatever if you're more comfortable with a little less risk. But ultimately, the way I see this is you have a guy who was getting bodied in the body lock over and over in his last fight. Ryan Loder walked in, grabbed a clinch, picked him up, threw him wherever he wanted to, and beat him up. And he did give up his back, and yet the guy was not able to put him away. He had 2 rear naked choke attempts. To your point from the earlier fight, Narco, you see guys in modern MMA, they got a fully locked in rear naked choke. They can't finish it. And this dude's like falling over the top, you know, losing positions and stuff. I don't think that he's a very good grappler. I think he's very aggressive. I think he's a little gimmicky, if I'm being honest. Like arm locks and all these things, they work against the lower end of the division, against a guy who's built, once again, like a refrigerator. Going to be hard to submit a refrigerator like that. But when you look at this matchup, I say, okay, is he going to get takedowns? I think the likelihood is yes. Is he going to dominate from the top position? I think the likelihood is, again, yes. So I don't think he's going to go out there and try and be Johnny Jiu-Jitsu. I think he's going to try and wrist roll, punch this guy in the head, and finish the fight. So I think he's capable of doing it. He's now fought 3 times in the Apex, 2 finishes and 3 fights. I think he's feeling comfortable in there. I think he's getting better, and I think he's got the skills to deliver. So I don't love this fight in terms of the betting odds. Like, it's kind of shitty prices. It's like minus 300 for Finny, which I don't love. But ultimately, I got to make a pick here, and Lambo plays on those props that I like.
Yeah, this is another fight, honestly. When you talk about, like, yes, is the price a little bit too big? Yes. But when you look at this fight, what's the scenario in round 1? Well, the scenario for me in round 1 is Finny taking him down and smashing him, right? Is he going to finish? I'm not sure. But, like, if I tell you this, right, and the line's minus 295, well, guess what? In the middle of the round, the line's going to be probably Finny minus 700, minus 800. So you can easily get an out there, is my point. Like, if you want Finny, I do think Finny's the side pre-flop here, because he's going to win round 1. I'm almost certain. When he's fresh, he's an absolute tank. Like, he's so strong. The guy just bullies everybody early on. Like, there's nobody that he doesn't bully early on. Now, the problem is the gas tank, right? Like, that's the one thing for me that is a concern with Finny. It's you know, it's been there before. Valentine is a guy that has actually good cardio. Like, you see how many finishes this dude has in rounds 2 and 3, and it's a lot. Like, he has a lot of finishes later. He keeps going. You know what I'm saying? But to your point, like, he's gonna get smashed early. Like, I don't think there's any way around that. Now, is Finny gonna gas out? That's the question for me here. And I'm leaning on the no, because I do think Finny probably finishes with ground and pound. I think what Loder did to him with the flattening out, easily Finny can. Finny does that to almost everybody. And he can easily flatten him out. And once Finny flattens you out with those big-ass fucking legs and like, you're probably not going to fucking get up and try to base up. And he's just going to, I mean, his shots are going to be hard, dude. Like, the guy is huge. He's compact. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. It's just the price. The price is just so shitty. And I wish they gave us a good price on Finny KO1 and KO2. You know, when you look at it on FanDuel here, as a whole, like, you know, just putting them together, KO1 too, you're not getting a spectacular price. It's 220. It's like embarrassing. Like, it's so low. So yeah, I mean, that's probably the likelihood of what happens in this fight. But listen, I wouldn't be mad at you if you played Valentine round 2-3. I wouldn't, just because we've seen that Rouston fight. I mean, it did not look good for Finny, man. He looked very, very tired. And Rouston is very green as well. He wasn't really, you know, he got gassed himself. If he had good cardio in that fight, Finny might have been fucked. because he was that tired. So, yeah, I mean, I think Finny finishes here. Not a big take for me in this fight, honestly. I'm staying away in general. But again, I think Finny pre-flop is way better than Valentine pre-flop because I think he gets takedowns, his line shoots up, and you get to get in on Valentine and free roll the fight, basically. So, all right, let's move on. Fight number 8. It is in the flyweight division. It is the 10-0 Luis Gerle versus the 12-8 Ode Osborne. Man, the line moved on this. I mean, I gave out Gerle plus 700 round 2, plus 1,000 round 3. I think we can get, I mean, it's not moved much. It's 650 on round 2 and 1,000 on round 3 at Bet365. So it's still there. The thing with this fight is I do think Osborne can possibly hurt him early. Like, he has good striking, he has power. I've seen Gerle drop before, but he's extremely tough. Gerle's tough. He's, he recovers pretty fast. He's in elite shape, man. When I tell you elite shape, the guy looks in incredible shape. I've heard rave reviews from Colorado about this guy, and he works very hard. Apparently, he's been going to strength and conditioning a ton. You could see it in his physique, right? He came in last fight against Piccinini. Very, very tough stylistic matchup. Piccinini, say what you want about the guy. This guy's an elite wrestler. And the get-ups, the stuffs, all the grappling, the Gerle really impressed me, honestly. And it was a close fight, but I do think he won the fight. And Osborne just doesn't have anything to offer other than the first 7.5 minutes when he's fresh and he has some power, right? But the problem, the one thing I will say with Gerle is he pressures hard. He goes to the body. He throws decent volume. I don't understand, Liam. He's a college wrestler. He has actually decent accolades. Why doesn't he wrestle? I never see this guy wrestle. It's always his opponent.
He's a fighter.
Yeah, but dude, if he just mixed in some wrestling, it would be so good for him because he had people thinking about the wrestling at least, but he just doesn't do it. And hopefully, they have a game plan for him. This, like, listen, bro, you could take Ode down. Like, there's no doubt. Mix it in at least, right? Get this guy tired. Let him fucking feel the strength, the power, and let him get tired a little bit. And then your punches, your shots on the feet might be able to land easier and stuff, right? So, yeah, I mean, I just like Gerle here down the stretch. The guy has very good cardio, trains at elevation, has good power, will go to the body, has good volume. Some things that Ode just does not like. He does not like pressure. He does not like volume. And I think Gerle can get him out of there. CJ Vergara, round 3, was very close to getting Ode out of there. Ode, honestly, I want to say this too, because last fight, Ode almost got finished. Yes, he almost finished, but he almost got finished by Ronaldo Rodriguez in mount. Also, if you remember in that fight, there was a long break of a low blow from Ronaldo Rodriguez. And if that doesn't fucking happen, dude, Ode Osborne gets finished because he would have been death gassed. But he took like the complete fucking 5 minutes in that fight and recovered. And I think, if Gerle doesn't fuck that up here, I think he finishes him. Liam?
Yeah, man, we once again see this one largely the same way. I knew that when Nick Piccinini signed to fight Gerle, it was going to be a tough fight. I thought that he had a chance to hurt him because if you look, like, there have been times Gerle's gotten hurt. You mentioned it in your breakdown, but Ryan Mandola, 4-5 fighter, dropped him. I believe Jacob Silva hurt him in that fight as well. So that's where the danger factor comes in. We know that Ode is dangerous in round 1. Even that triangle choke, he didn't finish it, which I think is a little bit of a demerit, but he did have a great attempt. He had a great knockdown in that fight. He's a dangerous guy. He's shown that. But in terms of the wins, they don't really rate out that well, a lot of the wins that he has in the UFC. Then when you look at the Gerle side, like, he's got some pretty decent regional level wins. And then Nick Piccinini, nobody wants to fight that guy regionally. You know what I mean? Because he's got a very overwhelming skill set. To your point, he does not wrestle offensively very often, but defensively, he's willing to and very capable. Also, if he ever decides to mix it in offensively, he's got it in the back pocket. That head and arm choke he got against Jacob Silva, very nice. And I did mention in my notes on Contender Series, he was like 16-1 or something to sub Piccinini. And I was like, Can you rule it out? Like, I don't see it as likely, but I can't rule it out because this guy does keep that pace, keep that energy. And if you make a mistake, he can make you pay. So for me, I think Osborne is likely to slow down over the course of 15 minutes. The things that I'm looking at here, they're definitely huge props. It's like 19-1 and 30-1 on the round 2 sub, the round 3 sub. I don't think he's going to sub Ode when he's fresh, but do I think he can submit him? Yes. It's only plus 750 for the sub prop. I was expecting 10-12-1. So it's not generous enough for me, but to your point, if we combine both our angles, I think he could sub him. I think that, it probably would take Ode slowing down a little bit. Give me the round 2 sub 3 props at, 19 and 30-1 and just small looks.
To your credit, like even if Gerle doesn't shoot, when Ode gets tired, he actually shoots.
He's a wrestler too. He's just not as good as Gerle.
He'll shoot into probably a front choke or something stupid, go to his back, and eventually maybe get arm triangled or something. But yeah, I mean, he might initiate the grappling. He's not very, I don't know, not very smart. His fight IQ is not great. Ronaldo Rodriguez last fight in round 3, it was a very winnable fight, and he decided to engage in grappling, and I have no idea why the fuck he would do that. But he did it. He got reversed, and, he got on top of him, and then it was over. He landed some ground and pound.
One other thing to note, Asual Mabayev, decent fighter, right? I think we all respect him. He only has 1 submission win in the UFC, and it was against Ode Osborne. He had to go to decision with everybody else. So most people are making him work. They're making him keep fighting, and this guy, you put him in some extended grappling exchanges, he doesn't always have the right answer. You're on mute, my brother.
I said the way Filio finished him, it was like, boom, done. And Filio's a good grappler. I mean,
I took the under 2.5 there, and that is where I started studying Falcao.
That was free.
Enough. Yeah, it was.
All right, let's move on. Fight number 9. It is in the middleweight division. It is the 37-18 Gerle Mirart versus the 20-10 Brad Tavares. This is 37-year-old versus 37-year-old. Liam, give us your take on this fight here at middleweight with 2 guys that have been in the UFC for fucking ever.
Yeah, man, I'm going to be looking for the best available price on Tavares ITD, Mirart ITD. It looks like plus 275. Maybe you can get a plus 300 out there. The bottom line for me is like this. I think that Gerle Mirart put in the right work this camp, working with Bilal Muhammad. Seems like he's gotten himself in great cardio shape. Against Rene de Ridder, Rene is a great grappler who's big and awkward, and he pushes a very, very high pace. In that fight with GM3, they both pushed each other to the point of exhaustion, and then GM3 fell apart. For me, that's hat tip to Rene de Ridder. Like, this guy's for real. It didn't tell me GM3 sucks now. And meanwhile, when he goes out there and he takes a couple shots on the feet and then starts working into his grappling, he tends to have a lot of success. When you look at Brad Tavares, I've talked about the best anti-wrestler in the division, the best anti-grappler in the division. I bet him against Omari Makhmedov. I bet him against ACJ. But against Chris Weidman, I saw red flag after red flag, which is this guy does not look violent anymore. He does not look angry anymore. He doesn't have any hatred in his heart. He doesn't want to hurt nobody. That's fine. He's a man. We wish him nothing but the best. But in terms of backing money on a fighter, if I don't think you're out there to hurt somebody and get them out of there, I don't want money on you. And on the other side, Gerald, he's not a sadistic guy. He's not a violent guy. But does he want to win the fight really bad? Yeah. Does he try really hard? Yes. Is he enthusiastic with his effort? Yes. And does he have underrated skills? Yes. So if they're grappling, I think Gerald's the clear advantage. If they're on the feet, I think people underrate that Gerald can hurt people with body kicks, that he can stay on them with pressure and pace, that he can make people tired over the course of 15 minutes. We've seen guys win 10, 12 minutes against Gerald. You make one mistake, he chokes you out in round 3. Thanks for playing anyway. Dustin Stoltzfus, you remember that one? You were almost there, buddy, but you didn't get to the finish line, and Gerald did. So at the end of the day, man, I love this guy. I respect him. King of American Jiu-Jitsu. I think he gets another one.
Yeah, I mean, he's back at Valley Flow with Bilal. He's training with Bilal. He's his main training partner, actually, from his interview, he said. And he was laughing because he's like, oh, now they're going to just call me Bilal's training partner. I have this many UFC fights. I'm a UFC veteran. So he was kind of taking it to heart because they were calling him Bilal's main training partner. But bullshit aside, he's 37. One thing that I've seen from Mirart, and I don't know if everybody has seen this. I personally think it's miles better is his striking. His striking looks way better than years ago. Like it just looks, he looks more comfortable on the feet, right? He just looks more comfortable with his striking, right? So, you know, is Tavares the better striker? Sure. But when you have to think about takedowns, right, and think about being on bottom against a guy like Mirart, it's a scary thing. You can't just like start throwing like crazy. And the one thing about Mirart, which is weird, I don't think he's a good wrestler. He seems to get everybody down at least once in almost every single fight. Unless it gets ended in round one, he gets almost everybody down, Liam. Like one way or another, he gets a takedown, you know? So last two fights, you know, we know that Tavares has great takedown defense, right? He's got extremely good takedown defense. It's at 80%, you know. It was over 90% at one point. But the last two fights, he's given up 4 takedowns, right? What can we take away from that, right? Age, down, you know, guys going definitely downhill. The reactions are a little bit different, right? The hips are not the same anymore, right? All those things are true. Like, that's just life. That's just age, right? Those things are happening to this guy. And that's why he's been taken down, you know, 4 times in the last 2 fights. Yeah. Is Jung Young Park a decent, good grappler? Sure. He's not a fucking great wrestler, but he managed to get 2 takedowns, right? Rodriguez, same thing. He got a couple of takedowns there. So there's a world where Mirart gets 1 or 2 takedowns in this fight. Like, it's not off the table. And on the feet, I do think Tavares wins, you know, a majority of the minutes, but I don't think it's a blowout either, right? So my point is that, again, we're going to go to this decision line here. And, you know, Mirart normally doesn't go to decision, right? And if he does, he loses. He's like 2-5 in decisions. He's not very good. He lost the split to Petrosky in that one fight. But the difference between that fight and this fight is that Petrosky can land takedowns. He gets on top. I doubt that's anything in Tavares' arsenal here. I don't think he's going to go for takedowns against Mirart, right? So it's 600 by decision for Mirart. I like that look, but it's plus 2,000 by split again. Like 20-1 in a fight where, again, this fight goes the distance, like a decent majority of the time, right? And we're getting 20-1 on split on a guy that, like, is this fight going to be, who does fucking Tavares blow out? Name me one player. He doesn't. He doesn't blow out anybody. So again, it's a price thing, man. It's 6-1 on decision. It's 20-1 on split. I'm just going to have to take that. Like, I think Tavares is on a downswing. I think Tavares is getting hurt a lot more often lately. You know, for a guy that was known to be, you know, Hawaiian, very tough. You know, is he Hawaiian? Is he very tough? Sure. But he's getting hurt more often now. He's getting hurt more often. You know, he's getting taken down more often than before. All those things are music to my ears if I have Mirart by decision at 6-1. So, yeah, I like Mirart by decision, 6-1. Split decision on Mirart is 20-1. Let's move on. Fight number 10. It is in the bantamweight division. It is the 9-3 Cortavious Romeus versus the 10-1 Chang Ho Lee. I will kick this one off. And this one piques my interest because I've seen a lot of people on Romeus, right? There's a ton of people on this guy. And there's some red flags, Liam, I have to say. Like, I scoured through this guy's social media pages, and there's absolutely no training. None. No training of this guy. I go to his gym, Pura Vida, where other fighters are posting. He's nowhere to be found. I'm looking up his training partners, like the guys he trained, nowhere to be found, right? This is all throughout the week. Fight day comes, and this guy's 139.5. Way off. Wait, didn't make weight, right? And at first, Liam, the way he reacted when they said 139.5 and he was flexing, I thought it was a catch weight of 140. I literally went in my Discord. I said, oh, I didn't know this fight was a catch weight. Then I turned around and seen, no, it wasn't a catch weight. This guy just happened to stroll in like the second or third guy and say, fuck it, I'm not going to cut weight. I'm 139.5, right? Now, here's another important thing that I like to, you know, I have a little background in investigating stuff, right? Cortavious Romeus comes at face-offs full on fucking tracksuit on, no shirt off, nothing. What the fuck is going on, bro? Like, there's no training, nothing of this guy training. And then he misses weight. He comes into these face-offs looking, with all his shit on. What the fuck is going on here? So I don't know what it is. I've seen this guy gas out bad later in fights, like that Bolanos fight. He was dead tired. The Imperato fight for he was tired in round 3, right? But Imperato was dead. Chang Ho Lee can go, bro. Like, he can go 3 rounds. A lot of grappling in his fight. A ton of grappling in almost all of his fights, right? The Zerpasi or Zupasi, whatever that guy is fight, he was down 2-0 in that fight. And he fucking found a finish in round 3. Like, he just dug deep. And I think he can dig deep here, man. I honestly think he can finish Romeus later. And the guy, when he gets on top in mountain stuff, he definitely tries to go to work. Like, he tries to kill guys. So he's going to be the bigger guy. I don't know what to think of Romeus, dude. Does he have staff? Is he fucking hurt? I don't know. But there's a lot of red flags on his side, dude. Like, so many that I just don't know how you can play him. There's too many red flags for me. And so I like rounds 2, round 3 here. 1,300 on Bet Rivers. 1,600, I think it's on FanDuel. I think Chang Ho Lee is going to finish. I honestly do. And I think something is actually wrong with Romeus here. I really do. I really think there's something up with him. I don't have any information, guys. I would tell you if I did. It's just through looking at social medias, looking at him missing weight, looking at him at face-offs. Something seems wrong. But yeah, I mean, rounds 2, round 3 for me here for Chang Ho Lee. Liam?
Well, Narco, I must admit, you broke some news to me on the show. I missed the weigh-ins today. Like, I obviously saw a bunch of the face-offs and stuff like that, but I wasn't watching live, and that slipped under the radar for me. I didn't actually know that he missed weight. So, going back and looking, I watched the tape on Romeus back today, and that for me was enough of a red flag to be like, man, I don't know exactly what we're getting here. I think that the guy, number one, froze up against Gaston Bolanos. Maybe that was the UFC debut, some jitters, whatever you want to call it. But he's not supremely active in any of his fights when they're on the feet. He's kind of taking pictures, watching a little too much, a little too static in his movement. And if he gets into pocket exchanges, he's willing to swing there. But we also saw him get instantly killed by Ramon Taveras, swinging with literally no regard for defense in the pocket in that fight. I had Ramon Taveras. I was very happy with that. But ultimately, I look at, how this guy is in his career. He's a little bit up there in age. He's not a young guy to be, in kind of prospect status. I think he's got cool viral knockout stuff on the regionals, whatever. But in terms of what he's trying to implement in the UFC, he's trying to go out there and wrestle and grapple with guys a little bit and get on top of them. I think his wrestling is not good, right? If you go back and look, he had a great takedown early in the first fight, like lift at the body, just slammed him. That's all physicality, guys, because when he went to the second one, he goes to wrap under the legs. He's got both hands together under the butt and just let it go because he didn't really want to spend the energy anymore, right? It's like either you have the technique to just pull the leg, create an angle, keep them working, or you have physicality. And I think he's got explosive physicality for 6 minutes. I don't think he likes to spend all of that either. I think he's a little bit, trying to hold some of it back. And that's why he's kind of out there not doing very much and letting fights kind of pass him by. So to your point, I don't think Chang Ho Lee is any good. That's my honest opinion, Narco. But what does he have? Pace, enthusiasm, and he's going to come forward and try. And he's going to swing all night, knees to the body, elbows in close. I think that the two ways I'd look at this are your angles on the late rounds for Chang Ho Lee, round 2 and round 3, 12-1, 16-1. I'm kind of surprised by those numbers after the weight miss discussion that we've just had. But the other thing I will note is I think the end sub at 440 is kind of crazy here because Romeus, that is most of his upside, I think, in this fight is, hey, this guy's not as good at grappling. He's not been in these positions. I get him there. I take him over. Or he gets on top of me. He makes a huge mistake like Puja Tomar. Yeah, here, have this arm. Please take it. And then you go home. It's like that for me seems like a plausible way that Chang Ho Lee loses this fight. But if he doesn't, man, he's going to be putting on more work. And I just think Romeus is going to shell up, give him some bad positions, and maybe just phone it in. So for me, those are the ways I'd look to play it, man. Late round props, ends by sub. In my article today, I had picked Chang Ho Lee by decision, either fighter by sub in parentheses. And that's kind of the way I see this going, man. If Romeus doesn't have the gas to go 15 here, then I think Chang Li is going to expose that because he's going to push for 15 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Romeus will probably have some decent, because I've seen this guy and he gives up his back a lot. Like Chang Li, he's had
every time to stand.
Every single time someone's on his back. So listen, athleticism, strength early, power, all those things are probably going to favor Romeus early. But like my thing is, if I didn't see all this stuff, Liam, that kind of putting the puzzle together and it doesn't look good for Romeus, I wouldn't even think about any of this shit. But like, it just makes sense, man. It's like when I give you everything, all the pieces of the puzzle, and you put them together and it makes sense here. There's something up, right? Like you can't just fucking miss by 3.5 pounds, bro. Like, and you know what's crazy, Liam? He was normally the guys that miss, right? We know this because we watch all the weigh-ins, right? They're like the last guys, the last two. This fucker came out like the first 3 or 4, and it's like, yeah, weighing in, he's all happy and shit. I'm like, oh, it's 100. Even he had me fooled. I'm like, it's 140-pound catch weight. Because the guy in the mic doesn't even say he missed weight. He just does 139.5. And I'm like, oh, fuck, this fight is at 140. I go to my Discord and I type it out. I'm like, guys, just so you know, this is a catch weight at 140. Sure enough, this Lee guy comes in and weighs in. He's 135. I'm like, hold on a second. What the fuck is going on here? This fight is actually at 135? So then I started scouring more and more and looking into his camp and his gym and all. Like I said, I couldn't find anything, bro. Not one clip of the guy. And I'm like, okay, something is fucking up with this fight. I don't know what it is, but and I've seen, like to Lee's credit, that I'll leave it with one last thing. This Zuapasi guy, he's a good grappler. Like, he's a very good wrestler, and he was absolutely owning him for 2 rounds, and somehow still had the cardio in round 3 to come back and just demolish him in round 3. So I think something similar can happen. Really. Like Gaston Bolanos was getting takedowns in round 3 against this guy. Gaston Bolanos is a fucking striker, dude. That's how tired Romeus was, So anyways, let's move on. I don't want to keep going. Fight number 11. It is the co-main event of the night. Actually, probably one of the best fights of the night. This in the main event. It is in a featherweight division. It is a 17-4-1 Joe Anderson Breurto versus the 19-5 Pat Sabatini. And you can kick us off here, Liam.
Yeah, it's not even a big enough price for me to feel like great about the Lambo. So here's the way that I'm going to look to differentiate this slightly. Let's go Sabatini sub in round 1 at 12-1 as my pick. And I'm just going to be simple with why this is my play. I have full disclosure, the under 1.5, the under 2.5 in this fight. I think both these guys are live to finish, right? For different reasons. On the one hand, Pat is a fragile guy. If you get into swinging exchanges with Pat, he does not tend to do very well in those fights. But I will just note this. You go back and look, he got absolutely hammered with an uppercut, I think it was, by Jamal Emmers. He certainly got dropped badly. He's on the ground looking off in 50 different directions. And then while he is concussed, he then rips his leg into 100 million pieces, and Jamal Emmers never looked like the same fighter again. So Pat Sabatini, dangerous guy, always has been. And when you look at what he's done recently, worked with a sports psychologist, got after his game plan right away, and then took the guys back, big bank, take little bank. You watch the 2 guys grapple JSP, and it's a different story. JSP has a ton of success against Breurto. He's competing with him physically. He's doing a great job, making it crazy, making it wild, gets overconfident, and then gets exposed. But you look at Pat, he went step 1, step 2, step 3, and it's over. That's great jiu-jitsu. That's being world class. So when I think about a guy like Pat, I think he's very live to get boinked on the chin in every fight. But if he doesn't, he's one of the most dangerous jiu-jitsu players in the division, and you're giving me 12-1 on him to win by sub because it hasn't happened in a while. By the way, he has lost by sub before. Joe Anderson Breurto, first professional loss, got rear naked choked in the first round. By the way, guys, I was there when Weston Wilson was this close to putting him in a heel hook, was this close to putting him in a knee bar, 2 credited submission attempts. Diego Lopes is a guard player. Pat Sabatini is not. He's going to go try and take this guy's back or take him down and establish himself on top. Lucas Almeida got the absolute shit beaten out of him before he got submitted in that fight as well, because Pat is not afraid to dominate on top in his office. He needs to get it to his office or he's going to lose, but I think he can. So for me, I like the unders in terms of like, if you guys just want to know how I think this is going, I think somebody going to die. Narco said before, I think it's 80% to go the distance. I think it's 80% not to, but in terms of how I see it playing out, I think Pat 12-1 to win by sub in the first round is wrong.
I have 2 units on the under 2.5. It's minus 165. I didn't understand when I saw it.
I got a minus 150. We see it the same way, my brother.
I'm like, what in God's earth is this? Why is it at this price? Because like, if this is standing, fucking, you can bet your fucking life that Sabatini is gonna die, because fucking Breurto hits like a fucking truck, dude, and he throws everything. But if Sabatini gets on this guy, he can definitely sub him. Like, Sabatini is as dangerous as they come when he gets on top of you. Like, he's just, the thing is, he's methodical too. Like, he will land ground and pound to open up the submissions, right? He's not just gonna full on go for subs. No, he throws a shit ton of ground and pound. Look at what he did to Almeida. I'm kind of surprised rewatching that. I'm like, how the fuck did they not stop this fight? Like, he was killing Almeida with elbows, dude. I'm like, every time the ref said move, Almeida would move and he would save himself.
He's
like,
a tough bastard. That's the truth.
He literally saved himself. But you know what I've noticed with Sabatini of late? He's been doing a lot of grappling competitions at CFFC, like that Fury grappling. If you look 1, 2, 3, 4, he's done 5 in the last 2 years. He never did any of them before that. So he's been doing a lot of them lately. He's kind of like, let me work my jiu-jitsu. That's my bread and butter. That's how I'm going to fucking, get people in the UFC. I'm not going to stand with them, right? I mean, Damon Jackson finished this guy in a feet, right? It was a knee or whatever, but like, that's kind of
punt
bearish.
To the head.
Yeah, it's bearish, right? It's really bearish. Lopez killed him with one punch, and Lopez hits hard. But like, does Joe Anderson Breurto hit hard? Sure, like he is just as hard. So, yeah, for me, like the under is great here. I think you're right. Sabatini round 1 most likely sub, but I'm just playing his sub. I think it's good enough at 525. I just feel like it could be round 2, right? Sabatini has actually a good gas tank. I don't think his gas tank is bad. Like,
it's not bad. I just think that it would be, if he's getting to these positions, I think he's going to get it. But if he's not getting to these positions, I think he's already dead.
Yeah, he might die. Yeah, sure. On the feet, like he's definitely might die. And one thing you can see, like with Joe Anderson Breurto, the guy just doesn't go to decision much, guys. Like, he's been to decision 4 times in fucking 22 fights, and one of them was the ass kicking he put on fucking Diego Lopez in the Contender Series, and then it was that that illegal shot or whatever, the accidental shot, and they went to decision, so they count that as a decision. But the Algeo one, like another fucking crazy ass kicking, but it went to decision there as well. But the guy just finishes guys, man. Like, when you look back, like Chepe Mariscal is like very fucking tough. Like, it's hard to finish. He absolutely murdered that guy in the regional scene. Like, if you watch that knockout, he killed him with that knockout, dude. It was a dead body. And that's what it is. Like, when this guy hits you flush, it's a dead body. Like, it's done. So I'll never forget. I will never forget. I got him by KO against Andre Fili at plus 1,100. I'll never forget that. We're never going to get that price again on Joe Anderson.
4 units plus 250, inside the distance plus 1,000.
Dude, it was like plus 1,100 or something. I'm like, what the fuck is this line by KO? Like, this guy hits like a truck. He can literally knock anybody out.
In my comment section that week, Narco, I guarantee you, everybody said Andre Fili is a lock. He is the parlay piece of the week. Everybody to a man.
Yeah, I don't know. He just killed him as well. If you remember that, it was another dead body. Like, Joe Anderson Breurto, pound for pound, probably is one of the hardest hitters at 45. I honestly believe that. Like, he hits very fucking hard. So, yeah, I mean, I like the under here, like you said, but we're going to go with Sabatini sub, man. Let's, Joe Anderson Breurto, the problem with him is he gets a little too cocky with his grappling, and he's going to probably put himself in some stupid position against a really, really high-level grappler in Pat Sabatini. And it's not by accident. The motherfucker has 14 wins by sub. That's not by accident, or 13, whatever. 13 wins by sub. that's not by accident. Like the guy is just really, really skilled down there. Yeah. Before we move on, main event of the night, guys, 500 or 608 people in here. Appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to my guest, Liam. Thank you for joining as well. Guys, just one favor, hit the like down below. Subscribe to my channel. I have almost 2,900. Let's get it to 3,000 subscribers. It would be great. Please. We try to do this show every week. I bring in some great guests like Liam. I mean, Liam's been on like probably one of the most, honestly. People love him. People always want him back. I want him back. So please, please, please hit the like, subscribe if you haven't. It's a really easy click. Also, my Discord is down below. If you do want to join it, go ahead, click that link. And with that being said, Liam, let's move on to the main event of the night, and it is in the featherweight division. It is the 19-4 Josh Emmett versus the 15-0-1 Lerone Murphy, and I will kick this one off here. I have trouble with this fight because on one hand, I think the line's a little bit too big, right? I truly think this line's a little too big because I watched a lot of Murphy's fights. I think I watched like 7 of them. And, you know, is the guy a good grappler? Yes. Is the guy a good striker? Yes. He has some very bad habits, though. He telegraphs his left hand all the time. When he's trying to throw the overhand left, like his left, he telegraphs it. He tells you, I'm coming. He kind of does this stutter step, and he steps into it and throws. And really, when you're in southpaw and you're telegraphing that punch, and Emmett comes over with his big overhand right, whatever lands first, maybe the other guy goes out. Like, and Emmett hits super hard, man. Like he's just one of the biggest hitters for the division. We were just talking about that with Breurto, right? This is another one. Like, this is pound for pound one of the biggest hitters probably in all of MMA, right? He's got, I think, the most knockdowns in the division, right? He hits very hard. And we go back and you look at the Ige fight, right? Ige is kind of similar to Emmett, right? He's a big puncher. He's not really a guy that's going to grapple, right? And he dropped Murphy in round 1 and hurt him bad, right? And if it wasn't for a stupid mistake from Ige in round 3, he wins that fight. Like, he's on top. He's winning the round in round 3. And somehow he decides, let me let this guy back up, or he got up, or he made a mistake. And then he literally stole the round, Liam, in the last 10 seconds.
Ask me if I had Dan Ige plus 240 and wanted to puke.
I don't want to ask you because I don't want to poke you, you know, while you miss the bet. But like, Ige should have won that fight, right? Did he destroy Barbosa? Sure. Like, he destroyed Barbosa. But like, even in a Gabriel Santos fight, is Gabriel Santos a great fighter? Of course he is. But it was very short notice. And when I looked back at that fight, I don't think he won the fight. I thought he lost that fight. The only round I could possibly give him was round 3. I thought he lost round 1 and 2. You know, he gave up the back. You know, in round 1 against Amir Khan, he's getting destroyed. Obviously, Amir Khan is good in round 1. But my point is, he went to split against Tugugov, you know, years ago. The guy is not I don't think he's an upper echelon fighter. I think he's a really good fighter. I don't think he's championship material because he has too many flaws, in my opinion. So when you look at Emmett, yes, there's a drawback. And everybody knows what the drawback is. The guy is 40 years old. Like, it's just, we can't look past that, right? He just turned 40. He had a war against Topuria. He absolutely got the shit beat out of him in that fight. He got choked out, you know, in that triangle against Yair. But, like, toughness, the guy has fucking toughness, man. Look at the Topuria fight. Like, how many people survived those big shots from Topuria? Not a lot. Cardio, he has it. Desire, he has it. Heart, he has it. One last thing. Secret juice, he has it. Because look at his fucking weigh-ins. Like, this guy does not look normal. You know, like, coming in at 40 in the best shape of your career, like, something doesn't feel right, okay? and he's talking about this.
He just went to bed early and had asparagus, Narc. I don't know what you're talking about.
Sure, but the guy's been really confident all week. He says, I'm plus 260. Put your house on it. He said, I love that. I love hearing that, like the confidence is there. Now, Murphy's going to have a speed edge. Murphy's going to he's got good footwork, right? He's got probably a little bit of a wrestling edge. He can shoot takedowns much quicker. I do think if Emmett shoots a takedown, he probably can get a takedown. I don't know why he would, because it kind of wastes his energy. I don't think he's going to do much with the takedown. But I do think he can land a takedown or two in this fight. We saw Ige land a takedown, right? Against Murphy. So, I just see this playing close, man, because the thing with Murphy that I don't like, Liam, is he likes to sit in the pocket and exchange, bro. He does that with everybody. He likes to land his big shots, and I think that's a mistake. He does it in every single fight. He likes to put it on the table and say, mine is bigger. Let's see whose is bigger, right? So he does that all the time, and he got dropped against Ige. I think this is the wrong guy to do that with, because Emmett swings very hard. He has big power. He can hurt him. And so I do like the recoverability from Murphy. I think he recovers really well. He's in tip-top shape as well. The guy looks phenomenal, right? He's undefeated for a reason. He's a good fighter. But Emmett decision, man, it's calling my name again. I have a lot of big decisions. 7-1. 7-1 on Emmett decision. Let me give you a little side note here. Okay. Emmett, believe it or not, is 10-2 in decisions. The guy knows how to win decisions. Don't get it twisted. So 7-1, man, it's an easy click again. I didn't play the split. It's astronomical if you want to play the split as well. I think, I said to myself, 7-1 is more than enough for me. But if you want to get greasy, it's 22-1 on the split. I just think, man, this is a close fight if it goes 5. If it goes 5, it's going to be close. Can Murphy hurt him and finish him? Sure, it's possible. But I think Emmett can finish him as well. So, I just like the Emmett side at this price, man. Initially, I will say I got in at minus 260, and I got out of my position for free. I'm like, nah, after tape, I'm like, nah, I can't do this, man. This fight is too close. But yeah, that's it on this fight, Liam. What do you have for us here on the main event?
Yeah, I think we'd be looking at a used Corolla or something on, I don't know what the exact terminology is. I'm not that much of a regular, but we definitely have some kind of vehicle on the Josh Emmett money line, because I do think it's off, right? You look at a guy like Lerone Murphy. This is a tale of two fighters for me, Narco. I'll be super brief on this, but bet Makwan Amirkhani plus 275. Didn't cash, but I was there. Bet Dan Ige plus 240, didn't cash, but I was there. And I had Makwan Amirkhani wins by submission 850, wins by sub in round 1, 17-1. He's all over him. He's looking for it. He's getting him. He's going in the grappling. He's trying to push that pace. And then he comes out in round 2, goes to keep the same thing going, gets kneed in the head, and the rest is history. But if you look at this guy, I've not been a Lerone Murphy disrespecter. I think he's a good fighter. I pick him to win almost all of his fights, but price is everything. And when you look at this guy, he's being priced like a guy who leaves no doubt, who goes out there and makes sure that, I was the better guy. There was nothing close about it. You pointed out Dan Ige let victory slip through his fingers, as he's done a number of times against top guys. No disrespect, a very talented fighter, guy who's just had a hard time putting it all together against his best opponents. Then you look, all right, how about when Josh Emmett fought Dan Ige? He won that fight cleanly. And I bet Josh Emmett. So when you look at these guys, I've had them on different, trajectories, right? I'm like, Josh Emmett's a guy I'm looking to get behind. I'm looking to bet him. I picked Calvin Kattar's split decision and bet Josh Emmett plus 200. I was like, it's going to be a close fight. They're probably going to play out close. He's going to land some big shots. He's going to give himself a chance. That's what happened, right? He ended up getting outstruck. He got outlanded. People thought it was a robbery. We'll take the coins. So then we get to the point. It's like, okay, Josh Emmett, you go out there against Yair Rodriguez. I had Yair by KO. Brutal run out, right? Because he hurts him so bad, and then Josh just desperation takedown into a triangle and gets finished. You look at this guy, he's got power in his hands. He's got a decent submission ability that he doesn't ever use. He's never used it in the UFC. Pre-UFC, I'm seeing King of the Cage post his old throwbacks. My man's getting head and arm chokes and being a normal wrestle boxer type guy. He's from a high-level mixed martial arts background. I think he's got skills in all positions. I think the truth is when he was very badly hurt against Yair Rodriguez, he looked like a white belt because he was really badly hurt and he had nothing left to give. But if you look at round 1 of that fight, Yair Rodriguez was doing the salsa and he was getting hurt really badly in that. So I just say to myself, this guy Josh Emmett creates chaos. He's got massive power. He's got an ability to mix it up in all phases, and he can compete if it goes to decision. So why is he plus 275? Because he's 40. And then to your point, my man's got fucking roid gut like you've never seen, man. Like him and I'm trying to think who else. There's a couple people on this card that are competing for it, but y'all, if y'all see the HK, Davey Gray got canceled, bro. We would have had 2 of the craziest HGH guts in all of MMA history, but ultimately, I just see this as more competitive than the line. I like the Emmett side. Here's the one thing I'll give you guys for like a crazy Lambo play, because let me just get a few small coins on this. If you look, there's some money coming in on Lerone Murphy by sub. I do think if the fight gets extended, if he hurts Josh Emmett, Josh is tough as an old leather boot. Hard to put him away with strikes, but this guy has attempted subs before, 2 on multiple occasions. So he has 2 sub attempts in 2 different UFC fights. He has a win via submission before. You look at this guy, Josh Emmett, when shit goes sideways against Yair, he became a white belt really fast on the ground. It's like you have 16-1 on this fight to end by submission. And a lot of books are giving 13-1, 15-1 on just the favorite, Lerone Murphy, to win this fight by sub. I'm here telling you, if Josh Emmett hurts this guy, what do we know about Lerone Murphy? He don't go down easy either. Like maybe you got to choke this guy unconscious. Maybe you got to really put it to him. So for me, it's probably a donation, but we're talking about a numbers game, right? And it's like you have 5 rounds of featherweight action. Is it impossible it ends by sub? It's 16-1. And a lot of books, again, you look at comparative pricing, 9-1, 11-1, 16-1 on Bet Rivers. I will live to see if they were the sharp ones on the block.
Yeah, I mean, Lerone Murphy goes first. I mean, he's got 4 sub attempts in his UFC career. So, I mean, he does go for them a little bit. And we saw Emmett like against, Yair. Basically, it was.
I think he could have got tapped by anything there. That was get me out of here.
It was definitely pretty bad there, and who knows? It's MMA, dude. At the end of the day, it's MMA. Anything can happen. We've seen the best of the best get subbed by guys that they shouldn't be subbed against, and it happens when you're hurt, when you're tired. You just want to find a way out, man. And you can't blame some of these guys. Like it just is what it is, man. Like there's a certain point in your body's just like, I can't take it anymore. And I'm done, whether I'm the best at jiu-jitsu or not, I'm just done at this point. Just get the choke in and finish me off, So
if you have nothing left to give, the worst place in the world to be is inside that octagon, brother.
Oh yeah.
Get out of there as fast as possible. You got nothing left to give, go home.
We've seen it, I mean, multiple times where guys have just, and we call it, he gave up, we're kind of harsh, obviously, but we want to see him to keep going, but we don't know what they're feeling, man. Like, so, their body might be shutting down on them and they're just like, fuck this. Like, I can't give anymore. Look,
I remember Daniel Dubois, everybody was saying this guy is not a real fighter. He doesn't want it because he got his eye like almost permanently like disfigured. And everybody's like, yeah, I bet if I was out there, I would have been like, no, take my eye. It's like, I will give them the benefit of the doubt more often than not.
Yeah.
Cody Brundage, you're on watch though. You've had a few too many.
Cody Brundage, yeah, but hey, he came out last fight and
that's what I'm saying, man. You can never count him out.
He did the damn thing. He got hurt. He fought through it and finished. So who knows? Anyways, with that being said, 665 live viewers. Appreciate each and every one of you. It's time for the Lambo parlays. I can kick mine off. Mine is short and sweet. Nothing crazy. It's Sabatini sub, and you mix and match with the Loma round 2-3. We'll get you 56-1, 76-1. That's all I have. I think if Loma can finish in rounds 2 and 3, I think we're going to be live with the Sabatini sub. And also, I mean, if you don't want to go with Sabatini sub, I honestly think you can mix Breurto KO there. Like, I honestly think that fight finishes one way or the other. So you can mix Breurto KO with those. And I did that with the Loma 2-3. And they're smaller prices, but they're still pretty good. Go ahead, Liam.
This is a tricky one here. I'm trying to come up with something that does not include your legs, just so we could give some original stuff for the people. Let's go with this. We are going with tall, awkward white guys for 1,000, Alex. We're gonna go with GM3 inside the distance, we'll go GM3 inside the distance and McKe by submission. It's gonna get you 27, a little over 27-1 plus 2,700, plus 2,713, just for simplicity's sake. My brother.
Yeah, I like that. GM3 ITD, because it could be a sequence where he can hurt him on the feet or ground and pound or something. You never know.
The premise is Tavares is washed. If you look at how they both treated Bruno Silva, I think that could be revelatory. But
I mean, he's definitely washed. Like that. That's no doubt about it. Like he's on the tail end of his career. Like he's in good shape. Don't get me wrong. I saw an IG thing with him, dude. It's insane. He put 28 pounds in 24 hours. Go look at his IG. He lost 28 pounds in 24 fucking hours. I'm like,
that does not sound like a healthy weight cut to me.
No, it sounds very bad, dude.
That sounds like a dehydrated brain waiting to get poked by a GM3 jab into a
he was literally on the ground in tinfoil and fucking put that post 20 or 25 pounds in 24 hours, something like that. Like it was a lot of weight. I'm like, holy fuck. Why the fuck is this guy cutting so much weight in the last 24 hours? Like, he didn't systematically cut down to a certain weight and then
and GM3 looks bigger than him. So
GM3,
I don't even get
GM3
it.
Definitely. GM3 is actually pretty decently sized for 85. The thing is, the DeRitter motherfucker is like a monster for one.
Dude, DeRitter, I feel like Narco, like there's still an edge on DeRitter moving forward because people keep telling me that he sucks at grappling, and I'm like, one does not simply pass the guard of Andre Galvao. It just doesn't happen. So.
He doesn't suck at grappling. Like that guy.
He's wrestling bad. Elite.
Is his wrestling bad? Sure. He doesn't have great wrestling, but if he gets you down, the thing is, the guy is not an 85er, bro. Like this guy's got to be cutting an insane amount of fucking weight. He fought a heavyweight. You know that, Liam, like in one.
Kevin Holland went out there with no idea. They had no idea what they were doing to him.
Oh, Kevin Holland. Once he got him down, it was like, good night. It's a wrap. Like Holland ain't
big
getting
bank,
up.
take little bank.
Yeah, it's like that was honestly, I think I did have him by sub there at like a decent price. It was too easy. Like it was too easy. Like when Holland faces the bigger dudes at 85 and they're grapplers, he's got little to no chance. He's done. Yeah. It's Holland at 70, right? Is where you need to play him, right? At 85, he's dead.
He looked legit against Gunnar Nelson. Everybody told me he didn't know how to grapple.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Card.
The strength is there a little bit more, right? He's a little bit stronger than a 70 gets. He's a bigger. Once he gets to 85 and he faces grapplers, he's done.
My guy Derek Brunson almost hit that 14-1 sub on him. People forget.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's not very good up there at 85. Like it's just not strong enough, right? And you could see sometimes he'll weigh in like 183. Like he's just not a natural 85er. So, anyways, thank you very much. I appreciate you. 667 live viewers. Hit the like on your way out. Subscribe. Shoot Liam Picks Fights on Twitter a follow. I think he has a YouTube channel as well. I will give him the floor. Liam, again, thank you. Appreciate you. Have a great, good luck and great weekend. Go ahead. Give him a piece of your mind. If you want to call some people out, you're more than welcome.
No, I'm going to do the opposite, man. I'm going to say I saw mostly love, support, and appreciation in the chat. God bless each and every one of you guys. Thank you all for the support. I'm just here to say I'm normally a positive, happy-go-lucky guy. But if you're telling me you don't want to hear from me, just turn off the show, right? Because I'm here, I'm talking, I'm having a great time with my guy Narco. I'm having a great time with everybody else rocking in the chat. But I'm not here to be everybody's best friend, right? If you don't like me, that's fine. But I'm just going to be here doing my thing. So if you guys are looking for more from me, you can always find it. Liam Picks Fights everywhere. And if you're not, well, then you've gotten through it, guys. You've finished with me. I've had enough of you anyway, and that's it. So goodbye, God bless, and good luck to each and every one of you.
Yeah, thank you very much, man. Liam is a good guy. Liam gives great info on fights. The guy's just a really nice guy. And yeah, I mean, there's always people that hate me, people that talk shit to me. It is what it is. It's just, we put ourselves, listen, at the end of the day, we're podcasters, we're bettors, right? We put ourselves out there. I'm fine with the criticism. It's just, it happens. It happens. And it is what it is. But I appreciate each and every one of you. Again, good luck this weekend. And let's cash some tickets for UFC Vegas 105. Peace.